This is spiritual warfare, the fight that isn't just about what we see, but what we can't see. The battle for our hearts, our minds, and our souls. It's real, it's ancient, and it's happening right now in this very moment. Today, we're diving deep into what spiritual warfare really is, how it affects our daily lives, and most importantly, how we can stand strong in the power of God's armor. Whether you're a believer, a skeptic, or simply curious, this episode will open your eyes to the truth about the unseen forces at play. If you've ever felt out of your depth and in the midst of life struggles or wondered if there's something more behind the chaos, stay with us. The battle is much greater than we know, but the victory has already been won. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Mantle of Spirit. Hope everybody's having a good and blessed day today. If you are a first time listener, we appreciate you for checking us out. We hope that you enjoy the content. For the six of you, because I know how many there is, and I'm so excited, who are reoccurring listeners, we do appreciate you, and we hope that you are enjoying the content that we have. Make sure that you leave some kind of comment or contact us in any kind of way. Let us know what you like. Let us know what we can work on. And yeah, today is
Updates.
is gonna be an update of some sort.
No, so today we will have update. So if you are listening to this, then the website has already been the website has already been updated. So if you type in www.mantlespirit.ministries.com, scroll all the way down to the news tab. Or the news section. There will be a little. I'm not gonna say what it is, but there will be a little surprise for you there. Um, Other than that, that is the only update that we have. We will be working with more this week. Thursday will be actually the true official day for the blogs. So you'll get your first week of blogs every Thursday, all the way until the end of May. And then it restarts in June, and then restarts in July, etc., etc. So other than that, there is no other updates other than you got something in the news tab, and you got the blogs coming this Thursday. We haven't decided a date on which, or not a date, but a time on which those will be, uh, available. But as soon as we know, we will let you guys know. Anyways, what is today's episode about,
I was
Miguel?
gonna ask you that. Don't ask me that.
What do you? Why?
I don't know. I was gonna ask you. I was like, what are we talking about today, Dustin? We are talking about spiritual warfare and what the effects of spiritual warfare is. There are signs that you're possibly having spiritual warfare, and maybe not just a clash of anger and different feelings, or a clash of one thing after the other. Like, what is the likelihood that when people say it all the time? Oh, it's just one thing after the other. It's just stress. If it's not this thing, it's another thing. So, like, what is the likelihood of you actually having the coincidence of one thing happening after the other, or do you find yourself in spiritual warfare?
Yeah. I mean, when someone says spiritual warfare, what do you initially think of, Miguel? Just a genuine question.
What I think, what I know.
So we're gonna break that down in two parts. So let's say you are a newcomer to Christ, right? What?
What I used to think.
Yes.
I used to think I was overwhelmed,
Okay.
and life was just, oh my gosh,
As far like overwhelmed, as far as like feelings, or like just
feeling,
emotion.
emotion, thoughts, everything. Like when I just felt like everything ran together, and very much like they say, if it's not one thing, it's another thing. And I just felt like everything was out to get me.
I see.
I was like, I can't have anything. I
So like
can't
yesterday
go
for me.
anywhere. I can't talk to anybody. I just can't.
So like yesterday for me. Like how you seen me yesterday was you per se.
Did I? No. Lord. Yeah, no, definitely. Um, my mind is a dangerous place.
Oh, we know.
My mind is dangerous. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. Y'all want a little funny story? It's a good thing Jesus didn't create us with superpowers because Voldemort, I would be.
Oh my goodness. Here we go.
A Voldemort, I would be. I am. If a bird is squawking at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I had Superman's X-ray vision, what? That bird wouldn't be singing anymore.
That's so
And
mean.
I am not. You guys, it's really Jesus that makes me so nice. I am not nice on my own.
No.
Um,
No, he's not.
I'm just not, and that's why I tell people where they're like, "What's your testimony?" I am an awful human being who Jesus made good.
Yeah.
Like, because that's just what it was. So for me, I have a dangerous mind. So when things start to add up too close together for me, when it just feels like I can't get a break,
Mhm.
my mind spins.
Yeah.
And when my and in the midst of my mind spinning, there are so many thoughts,
Yeah.
and they're racing, and you're talking about thoughts like you speaking to me is an issue.
Yeah.
And as much as I love you so much, and let's say you are, you know, a family member, friend, or whatever you are to me,
Yeah.
I have lost all care for
Mhm.
you in that second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I I need a minute.
Yeah.
And so it's in those times where that's my spiritual warfare,
Mhm.
where I just hate everyone and everything
Yeah.
because it is contrary to how it's supposed to act, think, and feel.
Yeah.
And it wants me to stay in that kind of way of thinking
Mhm.
and that mindset because you think about it, if you're in that mindset, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Most likely, you're not going to do the podcast. Most likely, you're not going to do anything because everything is just going to irritate you and aggravate you.
Mhm.
Okay, so with me, it is something that the enemy uses to stop progression in my everyday life, and I know that.
Okay.
Um, and then it's issue
Mhm.
that the devil can put in to put up discord.
Mhm.
Kind of like what we talked about yesterday. Like I'm normally just a happy person
Yeah.
until I'm not,
Yeah.
and then when I'm not a happy person, it sows discord.
Mhm.
So really,
You can go from
I'm I'm either a sinner or a saint. Like
yeah.
there is no like a road to redemption. Like I either am what God made me or I am what the devil wants me to be. Like there is no in between.
Yeah.
I'm the perfect definition of the Bible saying no man can serve two masters
Yeah.
because I can't serve them at the same time.
I see.
Um, so, but yeah, that's what it feels like for me compared to like what I know now about it. Now I know how to combat it.
Okay.
I can fight it. Every now and then it slips up.
Mhm.
Like there are like certain things, like I can't just on one person,
Yeah.
and that's a lot of feeling and a lot of thoughts. But um, every now and then, like little pieces will come up. But for the most part, I know how to combat it. I know, what to do. Biblically, I know the fruits of the spirit. Put with the armor of God, and then knowing, where Ephesians 6 it talks about, um, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, well, I know it's not a person matter. I know it's a spiritual matter. It's a spiritual matter for the person
Yeah.
that's getting, or even me. Sometimes I'm the spiritual matter. Sometimes I need to check my own spiritual radar because I'm just like, wait a minute, are you operating in the right spirit?
Yeah. It says, Luke chapter 10, verse 19 says, Behold, I give you the authority to trample on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall be any means hurt you. Shall by anything any means hurt you.
Mhm. Which is important to know. I mean, because what is spiritual warfare? Spiritual warfare is this invisible war that is held against your mind and your soul and your feelings every day. Okay, it is the ultimate batter, batter. Somebody wants onion rings. That's me. So that's why I said batter because I'm like,
Ooh,
uh,
onion rings do sound good right now.
spiritual warfare, distracting you from what you need to do by making you think of onion rings.
Exactly.
But so it is the fight of your life. It determines a lot of things. It can it can bring havoc to those around you. It can bring havoc to your own personal life. And it's something that we fight about every day. It's the days that we wake up and we can't put our finger on it. When people are like, "What's wrong?" and we're just like, I don't know. Something feels out of place, but I don't. Nothing seems out of place.
Yeah.
Nothing. Everything seems okay. Like I don't
Yeah.
understand what's going on here. It's a spiritual a matter. It is a battle that takes place mainly in the mind, just like Jesus said that it would, because he said that we live in this world, but we're not of this world. That we're all made in spiritual. We all have a soul. We all have spiritual beings inside of us.
Hmm.
We all fight. The spiritual world and the demonic plane, whether or not we know or not. But
Yeah.
but the effects are evident.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? We can't see it, but the effects are evident.
Yeah.
What is how is your spiritual warfare journey? How do you know when you're in spiritual warfare? What does that feel like for you?
When I can't control my anger, like when I just lash out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like yesterday. Like I could like I knew what was going on, but it was like
Then he gets mad because he's angry.
exactly. Like I don't want to be mad, but the fact that I'm mad because now I'm mad.
You're that character though.
I mean,
You're that character that we all grew up watching in the movies.
yeah.
The one who gets overly mad in the background and then hits his foot or something, and then he gets mad, and then
Mm.
he like hits the table, and then the table like swings up and hits him in the face. Like and, like
Yeah.
it's like all of these things
Yeah.
happen to him at once,
Yeah.
and then he's just like, "I'm done."
Yeah. 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 That's a perfect that's a perfect thing yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's perfect for me.
When you get mad because of what's going on, and then you get mad because like you can't explain yourself clearly. Then you get mad that you're even mad, and then you like.
It could be something so stupid, but I'm so pissed off in that moment that it's like, yo, bro, like why are you that pissed off about it? I'm looking at myself in third person like, bruh.
I stood up, bro.
It's real.
Guys, listen, we're not gonna get into full of it, but yesterday I stood up during recording, and this dude lost his mind on me because he was like, "Yo, you ready to record?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm ready to record. Let's go ahead and do it." And I was like, "Oh shoot, let me make sure that I have my phone on me because my phone has the questions." And you guys, I stood up,
Yeah.
and he turned at me in rage and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm getting my phone." And he was like, "You know what?" He got a whole attitude, just mad. I
Well,
said,
because it
"Dude,
wasn't.
what are you mad at?" He said, "Because you didn't tell me."
Yeah,
I
because
said, "I didn't tell you what? That I stood up to get my phone?" He said, "You could have said something." I said, "Oh, okay."
not like in that moment because I was already pissed off because like we
I
we
was like, "But I didn't know where my phone was." He said, "You should ask." Okay.
No, and
Telling
it's his
Berta,
phone. It's his phone all the way. It's his phone all the way, but it's the fact that you got off that couch when we were ready to record.
yes, because my phone turned out to be in my pocket. And I'm a bigger boy, like, so I got to stand up a little bit so I can get my phone.
Yeah.
And it's funny, nothing has taken me that by surprise since the first time Berta got me. And Berta got me with because she was like, Miguel. And I'm like, huh? And Berta looked at me. She said, if you can, huh, you can hear.
Yeah.
And I just looked at her, huh? Like, just dumb. And she was like, if you can, huh, you can hear. And then I realized that she was right. If you can, huh, you can hear.
Yeah.
So I was just astonished because I was just like, I stood up and like, it's kind of creepy too.
How is it creepy?
Your head swiveled real fast, like you was ready for it. I was like, yo,
No, but
I'm
we
still just trying to get my phone.
that's crazy. Um, no, I don't even know why you pissed me off in that moment. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. Later, we discovered that it was spiritual warfare for you.
Yes, yes, we did.
That he was just dealing with a lot of feelings and dealing with a lot of things and trying to stay happy about it. You ever? How many of us? Let's be real. How many of us has ever like tried to be happy, and the more that you try to be happy, you're the more irritated you are.
Yes,
So
yes.
you're like,
Yesterday,
here you go. Here, Cassidy. Here's a cup of milk. Oh well, thank you, but I heard he got. Here's a cup of milk. Just take the milk.
just take the milk.
She's like,
Or
thank you.
what was the other? There was another one. Uh, what was it? What was the argument that we got into last night? There was another argument.
No, 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 not me.
No, I'm looking at her. Like, what was the argument that me and you got into?
I kept my head down and watched TikTok.
All right, so yes, so my wife just wanted to know what was going on with me, right? Like it was just a normal conversation, and then she
Did you stand up and look for your phone too?
no, no, she simply said, "What is wrong with you?" It's like, oh, bet, like,
That's what he gets like when he really gets crazy. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me?
like, same thing, woman, like,
Yeah.
eh. And then it's like we're sitting here, we're talking and we're talking, and she's like, "Well, I just want this and I just want that," and I was like, "But I want you to stop."
Just want everyone to shut up and go away.
Exactly. I wanted to be left alone. I'd turn off the alarm, and then after that, she wanted me to turn off the 6 o'clock alarm, and so she would come up. Her babe, it's time to get up. I said, "I know." Then that third time, I know.
Not really sleep. I'm in between, but
Yeah,
I'm here.
yeah. And I would just look at her and just breathe really heavily, and I'm just like,
That's the thing,
I
right?
know.
Spiritual warfare can come in many different types of places. Places.
Places.
Places.
Why did you say it
That's
like
out of
that?
place. Many different kinds of ways, not places. And one thing for me, because we're supposed to act how Jesus acted, I'm supposed to be nice to you and kind to you.
Yeah.
Spiritual warfare for me is don't say what you really want to say.
Yeah.
Smile at that person. Say a good morning to you. Don't look at them like you just want to throw them away.
Like this morning.
I just laid here.
Yeah.
I knew better. I said that's not the right spirit to be operating in. We're
Even
still-
though I just had a bad
We're gonna lay here and we're gonna reset because when I promised my eyes open today, it was like the devil on the shoulder, like switch places with the angel on the shoulder, was like, your turn. And I was like, nah, that's not how we want to start the day. Because I was just instantly mad when I woke up this morning. I didn't really sleep well last night for spiritual warfare reasons. And
Yeah.
then I went to bed at 5:30. I woke up. to you guys,
Yeah. Sorry about that.
and I'm a little sorry. I mean, you didn't do anything. I
Well, I mean,
literally was in between. I could hear you before you got out the room.
ah, okay. I see what. Yeah.
If there's any like, I'm an anime fan, so like, if you're any like Avatar: The Last Airbender, like when Toph she's blind, when she goes to fight someone, they take a step and she can like sense their vibration and tell them when like she knows where they are.
Hmm.
That was me with you guys today.
Mm.
And I was like,
Mhm.
because love you guys, you did nothing wrong to me.
Yeah.
Like that's why I was like, go back to bed. Like,
Yeah. No,
yeah,
I mean that's like yesterday though. Like everybody, made me mad. Now then this morning, you were like, I'm glad that you did not let the devil use you like that
I
though.
am told you I take spiritual warfare very seriously because I'm hell on wheels.
I'm glad because like not only would have you gotten, you know, you would have pissed off my wife, but like at the same time, you would have pissed me off.
I would be just son angry. Down
Yeah.
down to the 6-year-old.
Yeah, yeah.
He would
Because everybody was happy this
no,
morning.
no. When I tell you when my eyes opened, happiness was a threat.
Jeez.
Like it's that intense. That's why I tell you every now and then I might slip up, but most of the time I am happy and for a reason because I was not a nice person. I promise you. When Jesus found me,
Yeah.
didn't care about anybody. Didn't
Yeah.
care about anybody. You'd be like, "Good morning," and I was like,
Who the you
right,
think you
I don't
talking to?
care. Like, "Good morning, spill your coffee on you, have fun." Like,
Wow.
yes, dude, God brought me from a dark place. Amen. Hallelujah. Praise
Mhm.
Him. Because, but for me, that's spiritual warfare. So, what's spiritual warfare for you?
For me.
Yes. What do you know is an automatic spiritual warfare? For me, it's how I treat people and treating them the right way.
So for me it would be wanting to really, babe? Wanting to bite somebody's head off. Not literally,
But
metaphorically.
only when you're mad.
No.
Because like I
So okay, yes. Yes when I'm mad, but I I could be out here. Yes.
yeah,
Okay, so me being yeah, yes, my wife just hit that on the spot. So if you
yeah.
didn't hear that because of the mics, but my spiritual warfare is me being told how to feel.
My spiritual warfare is being told anything.
No, well,
Speak to me.
mine was because the reason that mine is that way is because of the fact that
Well, you just trauma response.
well that, but it's also spiritual warfare at the same time. Not only is it the trauma response, but it's also spiritual warfare because I know that I have gone through trauma, but I know
Right.
that God has saved me from that trauma. So the fact that I'm even allowing that trauma to make me feel that way and then having to hear this from this person and this from that it sets it off. It starts out as a trauma response but then results to spiritual warfare because everybody's giving me their opinion when I didn't ask for it. Like like you could sit there and we could be sitting here talking just me and you like we are right now. You say something, I'm like, yo, I didn't ask for your fucking opinion. Like
Yeah.
keep that to yourself. Like it's a
I'm glad that we're both saved. Because you know what my response is to that?
what?
Drop this mic and be like, you don't gotta ask for it, first of all. I say what I want.
Like but
Just
it
edit that part out.
results to the anger.
Mhm. It's okay. It's okay.
What? Put it on the couch.
Take it for me. I was like, no, I'll get it when I'm done. Oh, you edit. Jesse, gosh, make me argue on live podcast.
What? But anyways, no. So the way that I see it, the way that my spiritual warfare starts off is because not only is it starts off as the trauma response, but then it goes into why are you messing with the mic?
I'm trying not to mess it up.
I see. Anyways, no, it leads from a trauma response into spiritual warfare because then I'm angry because it's a trauma response.
So what do you do?
I pray about it. I walk away after I throw my fit of being
See, that's what you're not supposed to
yeah,
do.
yeah, no.
You're supposed to do it first.
Yeah, I'll get, I'll get pissed off in the moment and just storm off, and then I let my feelings override my authority of letting it go. And now lately, the last 2 days, yes, or well, yesterday was you know pretty bad.
Gotta
And
be like me. Just lay there
yeah, I
and be
should have.
like,
I should have
can't
laid
release
there.
that in the world.
I should have laid there. I really
It's
should
not
have.
for anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Really should have laid there. But no, like now I know what those triggers were to cause me to have that. So now I can go back and fix that once that if that ever happens again. And
Right.
so it's a it's a constant battle within myself to say, "Hey, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to handle it. Don't handle like this. Don't handle like that. Ask for forgiveness. If you handle it like that, ask for forgiveness and then leave it at that. Go about your day. Finish your day out as you if you were happy. That like don't you said what you said to God. You got your feelings out of the way.
Right.
You said what you said to him. You left it up to him to handle it. At that, you just end it there. Nothing. You just I'm gonna let you have it, and then boom, done. Don't think about it. Don't feel it. Don't
See, and I'll tell you what, I'm
don't do
ADHD.
none of that.
I'm ADHD, right?
Yeah, we
So
both are.
what ends up happening is you can easily start something and not finish it, right? ADHD, because you think of something else, so you go do that something else, and you leave that unfinished.
Yeah, you see that a lot.
My anger's not that when I tell you I am consistent, I have to finish what I started.
Yep.
So if we picked a battle, if I chose you and I was like, well, Cassidy, it's unfortunate. Fatality. Like, you're the one I'm gonna argue and raise fire with.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, even though, let's say she's telling me the truth and she's telling me this, then the other, da, da, da,
Mhm.
it's so demonic, and that's what warfare is, right?
Mhm.
Because no matter what, if I find Cassidy not guilty anymore,
Mhm.
if I was like, you know what, there really makes no sense for me to badger her the
Yeah.
way that I am,
Yeah.
I have to finish it.
Yeah.
I cannot move on.
Yeah.
I and like let's say she's just like, I don't understand. Like, why are we still doing this?
Mhm.
Because you're still targeted.
Yeah.
It's
It's like a heat seeker.
yes, yes.
It's
It's targeted.
mhm.
I can't take my eyes off it. The only way is to have Jesus step into the picture.
Yeah.
That's the only way. Because other
Yeah.
than that, when I tell you I could be mad, and that has led to several things for me, like unforgiveness. I can be mad at somebody for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah.
A up until Jesus, I was mad for years
Yeah.
over something small. Like, you know what, Cassidy, I don't like the way that you did that stitch right there. Just done. Immediately done with her. Want nothing to do with her. Don't want to speak to her no more. Don't want her to come around. When she does come around, I'm gonna be quiet. Don't you approach me if you know what's good for you.
Yeah.
She, and she'd be like, "What?
Like what did
What
I
did
do?
I do?"
Yeah.
I was like, "You know,
And then you're like, "No. No, I don't know what I did,
you
so
know,"
why
and
can't
then
you explain it?"
right. And so then when I explain it, I make it known. Except I make it known for the whole world.
Yeah.
That's when That's why I always say that the warfare inside of me is how I treat people.
Yeah.
Because if you ever see me do something kind, which most of the time you do, you could just thank Jesus for that. Because it was a time
When he wasn't like that.
I wasn't like that.
I remember there's multiple times where me and you got into arguments. And the nice thing about not the nice thing about that, but it's the fact that me and you can hold our own when we get into arguments.
Oh yeah,
Like we can go at it.
I've never needed help. I
I've
have
not no.
never needed help, and Bird used to always tell me that I needed to be careful with my tongue.
Yeah.
She said, "Because you have a very powerful tongue."
Yeah.
She said, "And you could either build people up or you could destroy them where they stand."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" And she was just like, "That's why people take so much offense to you,
Yeah.
even if you're kidding, and even if you're this, that, and the other." She said, "You have a lot of power in your tongue." She said, "And it makes sense because when you pray, you have a lot of power in your prayer."
Yeah.
She said, "But you could either use that to build people up or you can tear them down."
Yeah.
She's like, "You're gonna have to be careful what you say."
Yeah. That's why I think that I think that's why me and you can go for round for round for round when it comes to arguing. Like there's never an end until one of us says, "Hey,
I mean,
I'm
there
not."
is an end.
Well, yeah, eventually.
So you can't go round and round with me yet.
No, but there's been a couple times
With
when
your mouth, you can,
yeah,
but because you're angry
yeah,
and you let your premature anger
yeah,
go first, you can't step to me
yeah.
because you're walking away. You can't
Mhm.
stand your ground with me because you're instantly pure anger. Then I'm walking outside
Yeah,
and I'm standing the moment 10 toes.
yeah.
And all it is not that you couldn't,
Mhm.
it's just that kind of control, which took a lot for me to learn.
Yeah.
And that came with environmental because
Well, I
you
mean,
better
yeah,
not turn your back.
yeah,
You might not get back up. Where I'm from,
yeah,
where I'm from, you better stand still and keep your eyes on them.
yeah,
You know, but it was we say all that just because we're like
yeah.
not promoting how great we are when we're mad because we're not great. We're not giving God glory.
No, the only thing, the only reason that we are happy is because of Jesus.
That's it.
And that leads me to the next one. It says First Peter chapter 5 8 and 9 says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Resist him, steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same sufferings are experienced by your brotherhood in the world."
Resist the devil and he shall.
Hmm?
Resist the devil and he shall.
Yeah, that's James 4.
Yeah,
Yes,
resist the devil.
yes,
How
yes.
do you resist the devil?
Tell him no.
Not that easy.
I know. It's really not. It's really not. If it was, everybody would do it.
You resist the devil. You pray. You don't do what he asks you to do, and you do the opposite.
Exactly.
You don't allow the temptation. Because even allowing the temptation and even dealing with that side of spiritual warfare, you still allowing the devil to come close to you. If you allow temptation to go and
Mm,
you don't dead end temptation, like Paul tells you that when temptation arises, eh, Paul tells you to run and flee.
yeah.
Do not stay around it.
Yeah.
But we're dummies and we allow the temptation. If God says, "Hey, now I tempt no man,"
Mm,
so if He says that, then and if He's not a man that He should lie, and He's not a liar, and He is the truth, then that means He's telling me that anytime that I'm tempted, it's not God tempting me.
yeah.
So it's an automatic devil thing. But how can I resist the devil and flee and allow the temptation to be there? But the temptation is only there because He's there.
Yeah.
So if you don't run away from temptation and you think about it and you allow it to fester, you are literally sitting right next to him and you
Mhm.
allowing him to be in your presence.
That's why I don't talk to some of my family members anymore.
Like, I can't.
I'm not now.
You got to go.
Yeah, that I'm not saying that, if you're listening to this, and I'm not saying for you to do that, like, there could be a different way for you, but for me, because just the family that I have to physically walk away and not talk to you, because at that point, it's like, if I'm gonna say something, I'm gonna say it from the heart, and it's really gonna hurt your feelings, and we're not gonna talk for a while, so that I don't wanna hurt your feelings, and I don't wanna ruin relationship with you, so I won't say it. And sometimes there have been cases where I have said it, and it has ruined that friendship or relationship. And, um, it was hard in those times when we were doing that. When me and my family were having, you know, tiff fits and stuff like that. Like, it was very hard for them to understand what I was doing. It was very hard for me to speak, because I've grown up where my voice wasn't heard. My opinions and my thoughts were just shut out, and it wasn't allowed to be said. So it was like, it was hard, very hard. So why are you taking a picture?
I'm not seeing a picture of you.
What are you doing?
So I can't see the time on the computer because I'm over here. So I zoomed my camera in all the way
Oh,
so that I could see it. So I knew what the time said because I didn't
oh,
want to interrupt you and be like, "Hey, bro, yeah, cool story, bro.
yeah,
What's that time say?"
yeah.
That's not what I wanted to do. So I was like, "Let me use technology," and it didn't really work out very well. It was very fuzzy. I want to say it's either 30 or 34.
So
34?
that's a 4 and a 0.
You did this.
A 4 and a
So
0.
it's 40 minutes.
Yes, there you
Okay,
go.
that's it. You could have just anyway.
Anyways, but yeah,
Yeah.
no. Spiritual warfare for me is just because I've never been felt. I've never had the option to feel heard or to feel how I feel in that moment. So, what about anything for you, Miguel?
Um, no, that's it for me. Yeah, just really that's it.
Your mind went blank there for a second.
Legit.
Yeah, my wife over here yawning. Now I want to take a nap.
Not
Hold up.
yawning. It's her going. Oh,
But
sharing her tiredness with the world.
yeah, for real. Well, I mean, when you really really listen back to, like, us talking, the mics don't really pick it up.
No, they don't.
So, which is like, people sitting here listening to it, like, oh, yo, like, why are you talking like that? Like, I'm assuming there's another person, and then you
You
get
don't
that
know.
you get that
You can't see.
faint line in the back, and it's like, and it's like, what? So there's only one time where I caught a recording of Jasmine speaking to Shadow, telling her to get because she wouldn't lay down. But anyways, I have nothing else left. Do you have anything else that you would like to say? Okay, well, you want to
We'll go ahead and lead.
listen?
Yep, lead in prayer.
Yep.
All right, dear and Philip, thank you for their gift. Lord, we ask you for your protection as we go, whichever way we're going around today. Lord, we ask that you be with us. We help you. We ask that you help us stand against temptation and little warfare, that we may be uh, good servants and listeners to what you say, and not go with how we feel, what we think. In Jesus' name. We ask that you be with everybody as they go their separate ways. We ask that if they're struggling with anything, Lord, that you deliver them out of it. In Jesus' name we pray.